So I'm trying to capture more of what I do in the garden on video. This is the edge of my driveway and it collects lots and lots of weeds. Grass does not grow well here. So what I'm doing right now is digging up the edge of this plot of grass, and I'm making a trench along this edge right here. I will put down some newspaper, compost, and mulch to extend this corner garden bed. Now what I'm going to do with these weeds is flip them over. There's grass in there, lots of different weeds. I'm just going to dig out this trench, flip that soil over. This will be an opportunity for water to it always rushes into this area of the garden, which is probably why it doesn't grow grass very well. But I'm going to build this area up. So I'm going to lift the elevation of this bed just by flipping over this soil and these weeds. And I'm starting a berm bed right here. All right, so this is when I wish I had a camera crew just to save me from having to labor and film at the same time. So let me see if I can do this. So I dug up this edge and I'm just lifting this up. See if we can flip this over. And you can see all of that good topsoil, weeds, and look at that layer of soil and weeds that have grown on top of my driveway. So I've missed out on a couple of inches of driveway just because of the weeds here. So I am lifting this up. Let's see how far we can get. This is a workout, my goodness. Oh, look at those beautiful earthworms. And look at that. I'm just lifting this up to create elevation here in this bed. Oh yeah, that's great plant material, guys. And I'll keep going. I need both of my hands. All right, so far I have dug out the trench along the driveway. I have flipped over that soil full of weeds, full of crazy grass and just all kinds of things. And I have created some elevation here. Next, I will cover with newspaper, compost, and mulch. Got up early this morning and started weeding this garden bed. And what I do with the weeds is collect them in a bucket because I'll reuse those weeds later to produce really healthy soil. So of course the weeds still have excellent topsoil attached to it. I try to shake off as much as I can, but I would never throw this away. I might put it in my compost pile. But what I like to do is create berm garden beds. So I have heavy red clay soil, and a lot of times when I plant new shrubs or perennials, I have to make sure to keep that plant elevated from the surface of the soil because of aeration issues. So by moving debris, topsoil to other areas of the garden and creating berm beds, I automatically create an environment where the water is easier to drain through. So this heavy red clay soil will hold moisture. It will hold moisture for a long time. But a lot of these plants like well-draining soil. So by creating a berm bed, you automatically elevate the area, which creates a more well-draining space. All right, this bed is now cleaned up and mulched. The edge has been covered with newspaper, topsoil, actually compost, and mulch. You don't have to do the layer of topsoil or compost, but I will definitely plant in this bed this spring. So I wanted that newspaper to decompose pretty quickly. So I have mulched this area and it's looking so much better now. But this bed is done, and like I've done in other garden beds in my yard, I'll just continue to expand this bed. So every time I edge, I just make it bigger and bigger and bigger, and just remove as much grass as I can, because that is ultimately my goal, is to remove more turf. I want more gardens instead of grass. So this is a great process, re-edging the bed, removing more grass each time, and just making your garden more beautiful by creating more space for gardening.